Hey everybody, it's Andrew Ainsworth. Welcome to the video today. Great to have you along. So one of the things I get asked so many times when I'm coaching people and helping them with their golf swing is they want to hit the ball further. I'm losing distance with my driver. I can't get my driver past 200 yards or 220 yards. How do I hit the ball further? Well, this video could last for hours, days even, maybe. I could go on and on, but I'm going to try and give you my top tips as to how you can hit the ball a little bit further without having to change too many things. Top tip number one is to actually look at your equipment that you're using. Let's pick a scenario here. Let's say you're a golfer of a certain age, 60, 65, something like that. Could be older, could be younger, and your club head speed with your driver is somewhere around about 80 to 85 miles an hour. Now, you can measure these things, okay? You can buy little radars these days which will measure club head speed, or you can go and see your local pro, or you can get on a driving range which sometimes has some measurement technology, and you can pick up your club speed or your ball speed. So if you were around about 80 miles an hour of club speed, with a driver, we're talking, you're going to be probably somewhere between about 100 and 110 miles an hour ball speed. You tend to get maybe 30 miles an hour difference between club speed and ball speed, roughly speaking. So first of all, try and find out what your club speed is. But let's just say, for argument's sake today, we're around about 80 miles an hour. We want to get to, say, 85 or maybe 87. How do we do it? Look at your loft of your driver first of all. Don't be afraid to use a little bit more loft as an experiment. Most guys and girls are using, as blokes especially, using maybe a 10.5 degree driver. If your driver's a fairly recent one, within the last 7 or 8 years, you're going to have some adjustability on that. Try lofting up. Lofting up from maybe 10.5 to 12 degrees. It's going to give you a higher launch angle, potentially get that ball in the air a little bit longer and increase your carry distance. The only thing you've got to watch out for when you loft up is sometimes it can increase the backspin rate, and that's what makes the ball stall. But don't be afraid if your club speed's dropping to try a little bit more loft on the driver. Number two with the equipment is check the shaft. I'm always amazed at how many people come in to the academy here and they haven't been fitted for drivers and they've inadvertently bought a stiff shaft, because they've said, I always use stiff, but that was maybe 20, 25 years ago when your swing speed was much higher. You know, as we get a little bit older, our swing speed starts to fall off a little bit, but they're keeping with stiff. Try and get the shaft which matches your club speed. So don't go too stiff. Don't be afraid to go with a little bit of a lighter shaft, maybe a little bit more kick, a bit more whip in it. So you've got the perfect driver set up. How do we get ourselves into a great position to hit the driver? So these are common things which I see in setup on a day-to-day basis when I'm teaching people. Ball position. We want to get that ball position just inside the left heel. What that should enable you to do then is to get that left shoulder elevated. Left shoulder, as you can see now, is considerably higher than my right shoulder. And the purpose of that is, first of all, at the setup position, it gets my head behind the ball. We don't want to be setting up with our head in front of the ball, do we? Level shoulders, bit of a nightmare. But what that enables the shoulders to do is on the downswing especially, my right shoulder goes down, my left shoulder goes up, and then I can deliver that club on an upward blow. And I can get my launch angle into the positive. I could maybe be hitting up 3, 4, sometimes 5 degrees. That's where you're going to get your launch from. That's when you're going to keep loft on the club. If you've got the ball position back a bit, you've got your shoulders level, your shoulders aren't going to work very effectively, but you're going to de-loft that driver as you hit it, take all the loft off it. I've got no launch. I can't get the ball up in the air and I'm hitting down into it. Nightmare. So just have a little look at your setup. Ball position, inside left heel, opposite left chest. Don't be afraid to tilt that shoulder up, and then you can hit up into it. One last thing in the swing, which I see a lot happening with drivers as well, is people don't stay behind the ball very well. And what I mean by that is they might have a good setup, they might have a good start to the backswing and the top of the position's good, But as they start the downswing, everything starts to move a little bit laterally. Everything starts to move forward. Again, de-lofting the driver, hitting down into it. We've got to get you into a position at impact where the head's in the middle and everything's turning past your head. And you can see here I can hit up and I can stay behind the ball. I can still shift my weight. You know, I'm not saying stay on the back foot. That wouldn't be great. I'm still transferring weight, but I'm keeping that head behind the ball so I can deliver that club on the upswing. Stay tuned. Got one more tip for you to help you with club speed. So we've got you sorted out the setup. We've got ball position. We've got you tilted up. We've got you staying behind it. Here's another thing that I see. People actually slowing down as they hit the ball. There seems to be this misconception sometime that generating speed in the golf swing is a bad thing. Now, speed in the backswing can be a bad thing. Totally agree with that. If you've got a backswing where it's very quick, very snatchy, you can't complete the backswing, you can't turn, you start picking the club up steep, no good. So you watch a lot of these top tour pros today, ladies and men, you know, they're quite slow and smooth on the backswing. I think the biggest fault I see with a lot of amateur golfers is that they try and start the downswing too much from the top. They start to use the hands and the arms to actually pull the club down, thinking that's how they're going to get club speed. If you watch a great player, and you can do this yourself at home, the first move on the downswing is to almost just let gravity take over, let the club drop. As the body starts to rotate, the weight starts to shift off your back foot to your front foot, right at the bottom of the swing, there, that's when you can accelerate it. If I was just to do a little short backswing where my wrists are in my cock position, from here, I can create quite a lot of club speed from that tiny little short swing. Let's just try something. Let's just see how much club speed I can create from a standing start here through impact. Okay, I'm going to go a little half swing. Cock the wrists, hold position, and see what club speed I can create. Okay, reasonably straight, might just about pick up fairway. So as you saw there, club always go back a little bit further than you think. Not much further back than that, was it? And I've just created 96 miles an hour club speed from a very short swing. But what I managed to do there, as my wrist started to uncock and my body started to turn on the way through, I accelerated the club. And I think what a lot of people do is they get into that impact area there and they start decelerating. And the bottom line, really, with distance is club speed. We can increase the club speed a little bit, then we can hit the ball a bit further. So my favourite drill, and I've done this on many videos before, is the upside down club drill. Take your driver, hold it upside down, and you must make sure on this drill you hold the club way out in front of you. Anywhere near the ground, if you hit the shaft, you'll snap your shaft and you'll blame me for it. So club out in front, sort of baseball style. Listen to the noise of the club. This is a non-accelerating noise. A little waft, isn't it? I've got no acceleration through the bottom of the swing. Now I'm going to start accelerating. This, for me, really tells me where I'm going to hit the accelerator. I'm hitting the accelerator somewhere around about here on the downswing, just where my wrists start to uncock. Yeah, power. Do a couple of these. Just set, bang, let it go. Turn the club around the other way. You'll really start to experience how you can generate more club speed and you won't lose control. That's the other myth. If you swing faster, you're going to lose control. You may do for the first few shots because the body's going to be a little bit out of sync, but you definitely should be able to regain control and pick up some distance. Few tips. Give it a go. Post your comments down below. See what you think. Hey, thanks for watching the video today. It's been a pleasure. My name's Andrew Ainsworth, and I'll see you all again soon.